Oh, my Lord. We are drinking from the fire hose of news today, all about President Biden, and we are nearing, I believe, the end for him. It is one day before our nation celebrates our independence, and in our 248 years, we have never experienced anything quite like what we are witnessing right now. The dam is starting to break against President Joe Biden as more Democrats and media raise questions about his ability to continue to lead. For the first time, we are seeing indications, at least in the media, that President Biden himself is seriously considering whether he can recover from that devastating debate performance. The New York Times, moments ago, out with this headline, quote, Biden told ally that he is weighing whether to continue in the race. After the article published, White House spokesperson Andrew Bates said it was absolutely false, adding that if the New York Times had provided us with more than 7 minutes to comment, we would have told them so. A denial does not make it false. It is the Biden White House saying it's false, but the New York Times claiming to have a source whom they describe as a Biden ally saying it's so. This is just the latest in the drip, drip, drip coming from publications like the Times and the Washington Post, and I could go on. In a significant development late last night, the Washington Post reporting that former President Obama has privately told allies that Mr. Biden's, quote, already tough path to re-election grew more challenging after his shaky debate performance, end quote, and that he's spoken directly to Mr. Biden to, quote, offer his support. Remember what we discussed yesterday. James Carville saying Obama and Bill Clinton, that their role here is more ceremonial. They will not lead this effort, at least not publicly. Puck News is reporting on leaked, this may be the most important thing you hear today, internal polling from Democrats that confirms some of their worst fears, that Joe Biden is hemorrhaging support, especially in the battleground states in the wake of this debate. And what's more, previously non-competitive states are now in play. New Mexico, New Hampshire, Virginia, which could hand the White House back to former President Trump in a landslide victory for him. We will go over this polling in detail. And as we mentioned at the top, there has been a special kind of betrayal of President Biden, I'm sure that's how he would see it, from the New York Times, which has in the past been among the worst offenders in falsely propping up President Biden in response to any attack on his age or apparent infirmity. Less than 2 weeks ago, the Times published a piece on all the, quote, misleading videos from conservatives that, quote, twisted mundane moments to paint him in an unflattering light when it comes to his age issues. Get ready for some political whiplash, because the gray lady is now bashing the elderly president and using those very same videos to do it. Apparently now they see them differently. Reporting that he is increasingly confused or listless, forgetting names, mixing up facts, freezing, that he's shown a sharp decline just within the past few months, that he was given and required nap time during his debate prep, which only began each day at Camp David at 11 a.m. The White House says, well, he worked out and did other work prior to showing up at 11. Special afternoon nap time for the leader of the free world. And then there's this frightening assessment from a former U.S. official who helped prepare the president ahead of his recent G7 trip. This official was asked by the New York Times, they went back to him, if one could imagine putting Mr. Biden into the same room with President Putin of Russia. The official responded, I just don't know. And the Times, pointing out that a European official involved in all of this, responded more clearly and flatly, no. We would be remiss if we did not mention this. Just 2 days ago, the Supreme Court issued its opinion on presidential immunity, noting that, quote, unlike anyone else, the president is a branch of government, and the Constitution vests in him sweeping powers and duties. Apparently, Barack Obama's Homeland Security Secretary, who is also a lawyer, may need a refresher on this. Listen to what Jay Johnson said on MSNBC. This is in trying to reassure us about a second Biden term, about President Biden and the presidency.
A presidency is more than just one man, one woman. It's an administration. I would take Joe Biden his worst day at age 86, so long as he has people around him like Avril Haines, Samantha Power, Gina Raimondo supporting him over Donald Trump any day.
No, sir. The president is not more than one man. Most Americans don't even know the names of the people you just mentioned. They did not vote for them, and they would not be voting for them this November. The presidency is just one person, and the current person holding the office is in serious political trouble. This July 4th, as we celebrate the birth of our nation, it's important to reflect on the freedoms our forefathers fought for. But today, these freedoms are under attack. Look no further than the treatment of President Trump and the lawfare we're seeing this year. That's why now more than ever, we need organizations that are fighting back. AMAC is the Association of Mature American Citizens, and this is more than just a senior discount organization. AMAC is dedicated to protecting conservative values and defending our rights. Just listen to the way they talk about themselves in this ad copy. They're not afraid. They're ready to fight and to stand up for conservative values, unlike some other senior organizations, okay? You can learn more about how AMAC is actively fighting for your freedom by visiting amac.us/Megyn. By joining AMAC, you're not just becoming a member, you're becoming part of a movement. This July 4th, stand united. Join AMAC today and ensure that your voice is heard. amac.us/MEGYN. Together, Americans can make a difference. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.